with you.
All right, so today I broke down the chicken, right? I'm going to be soaking it in buttermilk for about 8 hours, right? I'm going to season it with herb de Provence, right? It's basically, if you think about Italian seasonings, it's basically the French version, right? It pretty much has everything that the Italian seasonings has, plus some extra stuff. One being one of my favorites, lavender. I know you're going to enjoy this. Stay tuned. Try this out. Hope you enjoy it. Hey, this is Shrashira. That's the best elevator music I ever heard. Relatively short list of ingredients, the way I'm doing it. So we have about a tablespoon, just over a tablespoon of black pepper, right? Tablespoon of paprika, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, and about a half a cup of herbes de Provence. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit about that here in a minute. And we have 2.5 cups of buttermilk. And then we have 1 whole chicken that I broke down into for me it's 10 pieces, right? Because you have the 2 legs, 2 thighs, 2 breasts, 2 wings. But in the breast I also cut out the chicken tender, right? So let's get this stuff mixed up and then we'll go from there. And our salt. And our pepper, our paprika, our herbes de Provence, now let's get this all mixed in. Okay, see how nice it's mixed in now? And now we're going to add our buttermilk. All right. All right, then more the air out. Now this is going to go in the refrigerator for a minimum of 8 hours. Right, so if you have to do it overnight, by all means do it overnight. Get it ready for the next day. But 8 hours minimum. And every couple hours or so, I'm going to go in and massage it a little more. Okay, so I mentioned herb de Provence and why I use it. Now, a good fried chicken, you want it to be flavorful, have some nice seasonings in it. Now, you would use, rosemary, thyme, oregano, things like that. You could do it the long way and do it that way, right? Or you can use Italian seasoning, okay? Italian seasoning, believe it or not, was actually made in the USA, right? It wasn't made in Italy or nothing like that. It's actually a creation that was come up in the United States. Now, the reason I use herbe de Provence, it is a French seasoning, right? As you can see, they look similar, right? Not exactly, but they look similar. Herbe de Provence has pretty much the same things as Italian seasoning. However, it also has lavender. Okay, and I like the taste of lavender, right? So it has more of a flowery, aromatic scent to it. Okay, so that's why I use that. Now, when it comes to other seasonings for fried chicken, it's pretty common to put hot sauce in it, right? But Mama Shra, she doesn't do the hot sauce thing, so I put just a little extra pepper in it, right? To hopefully satisfy her and maybe to satisfy myself and the rest of the peanut gallery with the initial bite. Now, I have hot sauce in there, we can put it on after the fact, which is fine. But that's why you don't see the hot sauce in this recipe. So let's sit back. We're going to wait 8 hours, right? And then we're going to fry these bad boys up. See you later. Okay, so it's been 8 hours, right? Now what we're going to do, we're going to strain our chicken legs, right? Our chicken pieces. We're going to strain them, get the excess buttermilk off of them. And we're going to let them sit for about 15 minutes or so, right? To make sure all the excess is off of them before we put the breading on them. Now, I was asked, why do I use buttermilk, right? The reason I use buttermilk is because buttermilk is an excellent tenderizer for meat, especially chicken, right? It'll also eliminate some of the gaminess of some meats, but mainly it's for the tenderness and keeping it juicy when it cooks, right? So you're brining it, okay? So all the seasonings you put in there, I could have just added the seasoning right to the buttermilk and then poured it on the food. I could have done that, right? It's just a personal preference that I add the seasoning first and then the buttermilk on top of it, okay? Because once you put the buttermilk on it, seasonings are gonna come off, and then it's just gonna be like a regular brine without all the excess salt, okay? Even though I did add a little bit of salt. So let's go ahead and get this strained. I have my big turkey fryer. I have it up, warming up right now. And by the time it gets ready, the chicken's going to have been drained and breaded and good to go. And there we go. Just pour the entire thing in here. Make sure all the pieces are out. And every few minutes, we're going to shake this to make sure it drains properly. So see you in about 15 minutes or so. So what I have here, I have about 2.5 cups of flour, just your plain flour, right? And to that, I'm going to add the delicate stuff. The granulated onion, the granulated garlic. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon, right, of the granulated onion and a tablespoon of the granulated garlic. I know at this point you're going to want to add pepper to this. Don't do it. Don't do it. Leave it alone. Now give this a good mix up. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each piece of chicken and put it in here, flour it up, and put it on the tray. So this big massive breast here. Let me get the other breast too. Yep, put that in there. And yeah, I could have cut the breast in half. I know that. But, what can I say? I like big breasts, so I'm going to enjoy it. Get this mixed up. Now, if I added all the chicken in here together, it would have just been a mess. Right? So now, shake this off. Make sure the skin stays intact. And lay it there. Lay it on the grate. Right? And this pan has a cooler rack on it, so lay it on here. And this is going to stay on there for at least 20 minutes. Put the sides in. Actually, I can put the legs too. Put the legs in here too. Get this mixed up. Make sure it's nice and covered. Reach in, shake off the excess. See that? Nice. Lay it there. Take off the excess. Yep. the side. Now put the wings in. And don't forget, we have the little chicken tenders. Remember I told you I cut those off as well. Mix these up. Knock the excess off. Look at that. Is that not good or what? Is that there? The other one? Get the chicken tenders out of there. Have a spot for them. Go, put you right here. And like I said, we're going to let these sit for roughly 20 minutes. Because what I'm looking for the moisture from the chicken to make the flour a little gooey, kind of moist, and stick to the chicken, okay? Because when I fry it, I don't want my seasonings or the flour to just be going all over the place. All right, so you can see the chicken now. See how the flour is kind of like absorbed the moisture and it's clinging on to the chicken skin and the chicken meat, the flesh? That's what we want. So now let's go ahead and fry up this. So now this oil is 375 degrees. We're going to be cooking this chicken for about, 10 to 15 minutes. Give it a look-see. It's probably going to be closer to the 15-minute mark. I'm going to be doing the dark meat first. Mama Straw likes the dark meat. But we got to give it to her. So here we go. Let's add this leg in. So then we're going to add the thighs. And be careful when you're adding this. Try not to splash. If you're scared of the grease, let somebody else do it. Make sure you shake off the excess flour. Now we're going to let this go. And we'll be back in about 15. Quick change of plans. Mama Straw wants some fries, so we're going to deep fry some fries in the middle of my cooking video. But you know what? All right. There we go. Do these about 7 minutes, and then we can get back to the regular schedule program. So we're back. So now let's put the white meat in. Okay, Mama Straw got her fries. We got our dark meat chicken. I'm a wing guy, so it goes in. I'm a breast guy. They go in. And these are going to go for about 12 to 15 minutes. So our chicken is now done. Let's go ahead and plate this up. And I'm going to cut up the breast. All right, let's take one of these crispy chicken breasts here and cut it up. Hear that crunch? Look at that. Nice, juicy, moist. Yes. It's what we want. Cut it on a diagonal to help with the presentation. Oh, this is still hot. Huh. All right, let's put this on this plate. Okay, so now, the peanut gallery drives me crazy. So they asked me, well, the Italian seasoning, why was it made in Italy? Well, here's the deal. They always keep me on my toes. Here's the deal. Back in the day, the Romans and the Greeks, they would mix up their seasonings, right? But they were always fresh seasonings, right? But it wasn't until they wanted to recreate those flavors in the Americas that they start using dry ingredients. Now, using those dry ingredients, they then developed Italian seasonings. Okay? So yeah, so like I said, the Italian seasonings were not necessarily born in Italy. Okay? The dry ingredients were actually developed in the Americas. So there you go. So here we go, our buttermilk fried chicken using herbs de Provence. You should definitely try this out. Their flavors are incredible, right? Leave me some comments. Hit me up on Instagram, right? So you'd always know what I'm doing next. This is Shrashira. I'm out, because clearly I'm about to get down.